Do you think animals should be treated like objects?
No, no.
Because you're saying animals should not be treated like objects, but then you go ahead and pay for animals to be treated like objects.
How about fish?
And so you're also okay with the idea of bringing animals into existence to treat them like objects. So you're okay with objectifying animals.
I guess I am. My name is Bob.
Bob, where are you from, Bob?
I'm from Washington State. In today's society, we don't say America. We say Washington State because that's a good place.
Why is that?
Because we still drink beer, we eat cheese, we are concerned for other people. You know, we're not trying to just tell other people who to be and how to act.
I'm an animal rights activist. I fight for the rights of animals.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Do you think animals should be treated like objects?
No. Anybody that has a pet, you think when you have a pet, you think it's, hey, it's just a pet. It's just an animal until they die.
Yeah.
And tears come down your face, and you still walk around and you still have pictures on your phone of your animals and stuff like that. No, once you understand, and I think even some of the like farm animals and things like this, once you get to know anything, an animal, a person, different cultures, automatically, if you got any kind of brains, you can start saying, this is important stuff. These are important beings.
Yeah, they have an experience of the world. They have personalities. They're individuals.
Yes, they are.
They're very much like us.
They are indeed.
Now, let me show you something, Bob. So this little thing. Do you know what this is?
This looks like. Oh yeah, it looks like for inseminating cows.
You don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So a farmer, they put this on.
That's right, and then they reach in.
They put the hand in the anus of a cow to hold their cervix, and then they inject semen in the vagina.
That's right, and also that prevents a lot of injury to the cows too.
Yeah.
Because the natural method sometimes is not so pleasant.
Yeah, but why do you think we inseminate cows?
Well, we inseminate cows because we want to make money. That's not because you want to have more cows to produce more milk, to get more cheese.
What do you think we do to the babies when they're born?
The babies? Well, actually, in this Europe, I believe that once their head goes down to grab some grass, they become veal.
That happens all across the world. It's not just Europe, also US. Yeah. So if they're born male, they kill them, and if they're born female, well, first of all, they separate them from their mother so that they don't drink the milk.
Yeah.
And then if they're born male, they kill them. If they're born female, they suffer the same fate as their mother. Every year impregnated. Yeah. And around the age of 6 or 8, they also kill them.
Oh yeah, because they weigh how much milk they produce. When they don't produce enough milk, then they get rid of them.
Yeah, or if they don't get them pregnant.
Yeah.
If they can't get them pregnant, they kill them.
Yeah. And
that happens at a quarter of their lifespan, natural lifespan.
Yeah.
Is this not treating them like an object?
Of course it is. That's yeah.
And is this justified for milk or cheese?
The answer is no, but it's not going to change. Okay.
Yeah.
Now one time I bought a milk cow for the beef.
Yeah.
And I got it very cheap. It was actually pretty good, but hamburger, not good. Not other, but hamburger was very good.
Do you think that if you're paying for this, like for milk, for cheese, for meat, as you just said, do you think you're paying for this to happen to animals?
No. Here, let's go back a bit because I want to cover what we know. One thing, that it costs more to feed that cow, and as far as the methane that comes out of that cow's ass and all that sort of thing.
It comes out of their mouth.
Does it come out of their mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, you taught me something. No way to be, man. I tell you, I stopped for a reason. So we know that that's not economically a good, solid thing. It isn't. So a lot of people are going vegetarian. I eat some meat. I have no problem. I grew up with meat, and I eat meat.
But when you do your objectifying the animals, you realize that, right?
Well, actually, let's tell a story. There was a friend of mine who had a pig. And his son said, "What are we going to do with Porky?" Oh, well, we're going to take him out and going to give him to a farmer. But he took him to a butcher, and they had, ham.
So they went to a gas chamber.
And a butcher. They sliced
pigs go in gas chambers before they slice their neck.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's like 98%
Okay.
happen. Yeah. So I don't like. it's still whether we cut their throats or not, however we kill them, however we impregnate them, however we do it, if we control that whole process, when we're not listening to what they want as individuals, we're treating them like objects because we don't care what they want, and we say what we want out of them. That's a form of objectification. And if we consumers pay for this to happen because we get the products that we enjoy, we're paying for them to be objectified. But we consumers have other choices. We don't need to pay for this. So do you think that we have the responsibility in this happening to these animals?
I think that I think that we have the answer to your question, and is that I know you're saying, yeah, we should take that.
Yeah.
The answer, another second part of the answer is that there's how much change can we create? We can create a lot. I eat way less meat than I used to. Way less meat.
Yeah.
Way less. Eat much more plant-based. Much more plant.
That's great already, yeah.
But when I have a hamburger, I do not feel guilty. I don't feel guilty.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should, but I don't. I don't think I will get. I don't.
There's such a thing called affective empathy, and there's cognitive empathy. What you're saying is that you're not feeling the affective empathy because you're not feeling the emotions related to that animal, so you're not feeling guilty towards it.
That's true.
But we shouldn't, when we grasp whether to do something or not, we shouldn't be listening to our emotions. We should be listening to our logical side, which is also the cognitive empathy side. Because cognitively speaking, we understand, as you said, that they're individuals, therefore they deserve to live. They shouldn't be treated this way, and thus we shouldn't be paying for it to happen, whether we feel like that should be or not. Logically, we understand it, and logically, we shouldn't be paying for it.
We have an issue with. Let's turn around and go to India, where the cows are sacred.
India is the number third exporter of beef worldwide. So they say they do that, but they still do the same messed up things to cows. Yeah,
this is true. I should go to Hawaii, and you're not supposed to kill the chickens, and if you have rooster stew, guess where those roosters came from. But anyhow, the point of the situation is that you stand on moral ground. You use the word logical.
Yeah.
And it takes time for things to change.
It does.
And to expect things to change immediately overnight is good, but it's not very realistic.
No, but we as individuals can still change overnight. I understand society needs time to change because there's a lot of us.
But here in Amsterdam, where you really emphasize the idea of individual beliefs, individual choices, and stuff like that. For you to say you must think the way I think, that's kind of like anti-Amsterdam, don't you think?
No, because I'm not telling you to think the way I think. I'm telling you to respect the rights of other individuals. You can think of them however you want. I don't really care how you think about them. I just care that you respect their rights. Just like if you think women are inferior, I don't think you should be allowed to, oppress women because you think they're inferior. Okay. So I don't really care what your view is on these individuals. What I care about is explaining to you that they are individuals. They deserve to live just as much as you do. And therefore, you should not oppress them because you get some form of pleasure.
You used the word should.
Yeah.
You word the word should.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Yeah, because you should not oppress animals, should you?
You're saying should, and I'm saying, I'm not sure I agree with you.
But you just said that animals should not be treated like objects. That's how we started the experiment. So now you're saying animals should be treated like objects?
I'm saying that for you to tell me that,
I should not. You're against your own values. You said animals should not be treated like objects.
Okay.
Should they be treated like objects?
Interrupting Chip here. If you're enjoying the video, please consider subscribing and becoming a member. These videos take a lot of time and effort to make, and your support can help me get closer to doing activism full time, which means more videos, more content, more impact, and maybe less sleep. I'll be rolling out new members-only content every Friday with exclusive updates and behind-the-scenes moments you won't see anywhere else. Thank you. That's my quick plug. Back to the video.
No.
There you go. So it's not my view. It's your view that animals should not be treated like objects, so then don't pay for them to be treated like objects.
Well, I'm not going to change.
Say it again.
I'm not going to change.
I can understand that you are reluctant to change, and maybe your ego is hurt or something's happening right now.
There's no ego
and that's
hurt.
Fine. But I'm just asking you logically, you understand that you're in a contradictive movement right now because you're saying animals should not be treated like objects, but then you go ahead and pay for animals to be treated like objects.
How about fish?
I mean, if they're sentient, they're in the same position. They should be left alone.
Fishing, we should have fishing and eating fish on the fish also, right?
I mean, they're the ones who suffer the most, if you ask me, because they get asphyxiated to death. It's one of the worst ways to die.
So you're really saying, hey, look, if you're going to have respect, you need to be a vegetarian.
Vegan, yeah.
Vegan.
If you want to respect animals, yeah, that's the only
You
way.
need to be a vegan. Okay.
That's the only way.
You have the right to believe that. And
It's not. It's the only logical way. It's not my right to believe it. You cannot prove to me logically that you can respect an animal and choose to oppress them because you get some form of taste pleasure from it. That would not be a form of respect. So that would be contradictory.
In a nice sense, you know, you got me on a gotcha question. I'll give you that credit. But
there was no gotcha. What gotcha was it? I asked you if animals should be respected. You feel like it's a gotcha because you see the contradiction in your
kind of
views.
animals, and then you turned around and talked about an industry such as fishing industry, the meat industry, packing industry, and all that sort of thing. And you
So
moved.
should those animals be objectified?
You know, I'm not going back to that situation. You're asking a gotcha question whether you believe it or not.
I'm trying to explain to you that there's no gotcha question because I'm literally asking you, as I did at the beginning, should animals be objectified? And you said no. You went to speak about the animals that you had in your house that you had a relationship with, and that's perfectly natural and beautiful because we do have relationships with other animals. We do see them as individuals and we acknowledge that they too feel like us. But then we turn around, and when it comes to these other animals who have the same emotions, the same type of feelings, the same experience of life, we turn around and we say, well, I enjoy your flesh, therefore it's justified for me to cut your throat. Or I enjoy your milk or the cheese that you make out of it, so it's justified for me to inseminate you and take your baby away.
So
Right?
animal husbandry is what we're talking about here.
I mean, husbandry in the sense of exploiting animals, yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Well, we have a certain amount of, we've got a Venn diagram. There's a certain area we agree on, certain area we don't agree on.
What is it that you don't agree on?
What is it I don't agree on? I think that, the industries that are I know people that are dairy farmers. I've lived with them. I've experienced with them. They know their cows. They actually, they give them numbers. They also know their names and stuff like that. And at the end, yeah, what happens to them? They die.
They kill them, they don't die.
Okay.
I mean, there's a difference, isn't there? You will die, but I don't think you would want somebody to be killed. I will die. I wouldn't want to be killed, though, right? There's a difference there.
Okay. So they're killed.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the part of the process of a dairy farm.
Yeah.
That's the
and that's an immoral part.
And if when
right?
you turn around and you go to a fisherman and the fish are killed.
Yeah.
That's the part of a fisherman.
Yeah, but you could say, well,
and if you go and you take a look at a person that's raising chickens and they kill the chickens, that's their industry. Now we have fried chicken and things like that.
So what you're saying is that we have industries that make money out of it. We have procedures in place, and we've been doing it for a long time. Do any of this justify the oppression that they go through?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
So oppression is justified by what? By making money out of it?
Oppression is because you're really on a line that's because it's what you can do with my words are not very, very pleasant, and I'm well aware of that. But the fact is that the beef industry, the chicken industry, the fishing industry, and all those have been around. And do they take advantage and kill animals and things? Yes. Do we enjoy the product of that situation? Yes. Do I personally think that, hey, we should be going out and killing all the animals? No.
Only some.
Only some.
Only
and the
some.
only ones that are raised for
And is that justified?
To you, no. To you, no. To me, yes.
To you, it's justified? So it's justified to take the life of animals for optional products?
Yes, it is.
So let me put it this way then. What's the difference between you and somebody killing a dog to use their body as a punching bag?
I was over in the Philippines, and they actually have dog meat over there. They eat the dog. They go to dog ranches and things like that.
And you say it's okay, right?
That's what they're raised for.
And you think it's okay?
I was okay with that.
You were okay. And so you're also okay with the idea of bringing animals into existence to treat them like objects. So you're okay with objectifying animals?
I guess I am.
I guess you are. Okay, so we've already started with saying that animal objectification is wrong, and we've reached the conclusion saying that animal objectification is right. So I'm trying to understand, because I get that you're not going to change, but I'm trying to understand, because it seems like it's either your ego that got in the way, or are you actually going to say that objectifying sentient beings is okay simply because they were not born in the same species as you? Because I'm assuming you wouldn't be okay with objectifying humans, would you?
No.
No. So what exactly is the difference between a human being and an animal that justifies the difference in view?
Communications, dreams, things like that.
Okay. So
Especially dreaming.
animals can dream. If you had a dog, you've already known that. So a lot of these animals can dream. And let's imagine if we take a human being who cannot communicate, they're mute, they're cognitively impaired, so they have the same level of intelligence of an animal. And would it be okay to exploit them?
No.
So what is it then?
But it's because of history.
It's because of history.
It's history.
So if you went back 200 years ago when women didn't have rights.
Yeah, no, I hear exactly what you're saying. And that rights have been changed, things, and that was appropriate. And
so history does not make something right, does it? The duration of doing an action does not make the action all of a sudden moral.
Nobody talks about moral. We're talking about convenience.
Oh, no, I was talking about morality. I asked you if it's okay to treat animals in this way. We're talking about rights. Rights are inherently tied to morality.
Okay. Well, listen, we're going round and round. We're doing the same thing.
I'm just trying to understand how is it that you changed your mind, and why would you rather say animals should be treated like objects instead of admitting that you're doing something wrong and wanting to change?
Because there's some things that I don't think really have a tremendous amount of effect on
100 animals per year. You could save 100 animals per year. If we kill 100 people per year out of the population of Earth, the population of Earth would still be 8 billion. So that wouldn't make a big difference in the population of Earth. Just like you going vegan would not make a big difference in 100 animals.
They have hunting licenses to keep the deer from overpopulating and dying and starving.
If you were one of the 100 people who somebody chooses to kill, it means everything to you. So when you choose to be vegan, you don't do it because you changed the system. You do it because you acknowledge that what you're doing is bad. And any one individual being put in that condition for you is wrong. And that's how I see it.
That's the way you feel.
Yeah, and you're saying right now that it's okay. You started with it's wrong, but now you're saying it's okay.
I guess I changed my mind. I didn't really change my mind. I did not change my mind. What I did is I qualified. I put them in two different categories. That was it. I gotta go.
But judging somebody based on categories you form of them is exactly what racism is exactly what sexism is. It's judging them based on categories that they're born in.